so feel like this is a really like almost like holding a stick of dynamite, in your hand when
Yeah.
the world that we live in. It's like how can I look at some of the government officials and the people that are in power and show respect and honor to them, and yet the world really wasn't a whole lot different in Paul's days. When you think about the Roman culture, the Roman government was very corrupt, very
I,
evil. You
I think
know,
you could go, not just, I mean, throughout scripture, we've had a lot of stuff come out in the news here lately.
mm-hmm.
Things as far as like the Epstein files and
Mm-hmm.
everything that's happening in Iran. And you're just like, what is happening in our world? And is the world ending? Yes, eventually. Eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is, so much of what's happening, number one, you see biblical prophecy being fulfilled, but also so much of what's happening has been happening for forever. All of
Mm-hmm.
the evil, corrupt, demonic things that was happening in the Old Testament. This is where you would see Baal worship and all of that. And you're like, our world has gotten so bad. No, we've just become aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these things have always existed. But the reality is this: throughout history, there have been leaders in place that were not good leaders,
Mm-hmm.
corrupt,
Yeah.
and yet God still could use them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't confuse God using someone and someone being in relationship with God. And I think
Yeah.
that it's like you look back all the way back to like King Nebuchadnezzar. He wasn't a man after God. He was not a king who followed the
No.
Lord,
Right.
yet God used him.
Mm-hmm.
And he even acknowledged that the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the God of Daniel, that this was a God of power, but he never fully submitted to that.
Mm-hmm.
But God used him. And I really
Yeah.
think that this is really hard because we get, I don't personally like talking politics with people. I think it's funny that people get so caught up in
Yeah.
it. And I mean, I'm a big believer that the beauty of being in this country is we do have a right to vote. We have a right, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that you
Yeah.
should do your research, do your homework. That doesn't mean get your information off Facebook, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
but you do your homework, you do your research, and you vote for the one who stands for the most right. First of
Yeah.
all, remember that all government leaders, they're all people.
That's right.
They're people. And there's, it's crazy to me because I've been in services or I've listened to podcasts where people talk about these different people, these different officials, as if they're the second coming Jesus, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you're like,
Yeah. No, you're
this
not.
no, they're as broken and as hurting and as not, and you're like, well, they're godly, and it's like, we got to be really careful here. But that doesn't mean that God can't use them.
Yeah.
Saying that God can use them is not saying and declaring that they are mighty men of God or mighty women of God. It's saying
Mm-hmm.
God is still in control.
Yeah.
We still have to do our part. But this is why this is a topic people don't like, because it's
Sure.
just like,
Sure.
well, there's corrupt police officers, there's corrupt politicians, there's corrupt government officials. Yeah, fun fact, there's even corrupt people in churches.
Mm-hmm.
Corruption isn't associated with the government. It's associated with humanity.
Yeah.
And
100%. Yeah.
I think that this is why this, as you said, a stick of dynamite. Yeah, but we can't. It would be easy to go, okay, let's in Romans, can we skip past these verses and just go to the next ones? Because
Mm-hmm.
this one's not fun to talk about,
Yeah.
but it's necessary,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, and I think to Paul's point, here's the thing. We have to, one, like you said, do our research and vote.
Right.
Second, I think that we need to pray for our leaders, pray for our politicians, pray for the people that are in power.
And
You
not
know,
just the ones that we love.
That's right.
Even
Yeah.
more so. Like
Yeah.
if you've ever had someone in a political office that you were like, I didn't vote for that person. I'm
Mhm.
not for that person. I do not like that person. Even more the reason to stop and say,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to pray.
Yeah, for sure. But once people are in position, to Paul's point, our job, as followers of Jesus, is to respect and to honor not necessarily the person and their character, but the position that they hold,
Right.
and to obey those things.
Right.
One, so we don't end up in trouble,
Right.
but also so that we can live a life of peace.
Mm-hmm.
And
That doesn't mean though that this is where the lines have been blurred. That doesn't mean that we don't stand for what's right.